Hello! I had to come on here and start this video because I am doing something brand new in January. I'm going to be playing my TBR games in a little bit of a different way, but similar to how I did in 2024 this year. But in 2025, instead of playing the monstrosity, I'm going to have this. So I'm going to bring the camera down here and show you guys what it looks like and what it means and what it is. And then I'm going to set it all up, get all the things printed out and everything ready to go. And we're going to start playing this. So I don't have a name for this. Any names are welcome. If you have any ideas or names or whatever that I can use for this thing, I would love to hear them. Okay, so we start right here at the top. And every time that there's a coin, which is a money thing, every time you see one of those, I have to flip a coin and I'm either going to go one direction or the other. So every time you see a coin, there's another one there to go here or here. There's another one here to go down here to this house or to continue on the path. There's one here to go to this lake or not. There's one over here to go to this lake or not. So there are a lot of these coins on the map. Well, there are 5 of them. And every time I get to one, I flip a coin. Now, the check marks, there are 14 of those because I have 14 things on my winter bucket list. And every time I land on one of these, I have to draw out one of the bucket list items to do. That is the actual game board and what it means. Let me show you the other stuff. I have a frozen pond because this side represents January, this blue. And then the pink is February and the green is March. So this looks more pink than it is. You just can't really tell for sure what it is. Anyway, so the lake is frozen and it says self-care. And then the lake over here is thawed and it says self-care. But both of those lakes, I have to complete a self-care bingo board if I land on those. So that is what that means for the lakes. Oh, one more thing. At the very end of the whole thing, this is the last brick or the last block to step on. And I get to go buy a new book every time I step on this space. And then I go right back around to the top and I start over again. But I get to go get a book. Okay, so now let's talk about this space in the middle. Now, as you can see, there is a circular outline around it. Everything inside this circle is part of the 50 before 50 forest. So anytime I land on any block that even a little bit touches inside the forest, I have to read a 50 before 50 book. If I land on the house in the woods, which is this block right here, if I flip the coin and it says go this way, I have to roll a d6 and read that many 50 before 50 books before I can leave the house. So that's what happens here at the cabin in the woods. It can be relaxing or it can be stressful. We will find out when we land on it, if we land on it. And that's it. That's the whole thing, starting over here with January, February, March. That doesn't mean that I'm going to stay on this path in January and go up here in February and down here in March. That doesn't mean that at all. This just represents those 3 months, and I will be playing and using this game board for January, February, and March. After that, at the beginning of April, I will design a new game board with all new sections and all new things. Whatever I learn from doing it this way, I will use in my next one. So go ahead and give me your name suggestions. I also realized that I said I was going to play this in this episode, and I'm for sure not doing that. I'm introducing it to you, and I'm offering you the chance to play along with me. And so what we'll be doing is we will be rolling per video and doing whatever it is that we're supposed to do during that video. See how far I get in 3 rolls. And then you can play along at home along with me. We can do the bucket list things together. We can flip the coins. You can play on your own. You don't have to stay with me and do what I do. But if you want to, that's what we can do. And we can also do it like Amy does at A-Star Reads on her Game of Life, where she has her own piece that moves around the board, but then her viewers have a piece. So if you guys think that the viewers, you guys, want your own piece and just move one time every time we do it, that's totally fine as well. Or you can roll 3 times like me and move 3 times per video like I'm gonna do. But that's not what's coming first. What's coming first is establishing all the books that I want to read in the first quarter of the year. And I'm going to be doing that by playing lots of games. So I will do just like I do right now, where I have my whole Canva board that has all of the books on it that I want to read over the next 3 months. It's the same thing I did in October for October, November, and December. But I'm going to plan this in December to read January, February, and March. I'm going to try to give myself a lot of extra space or extra room in case a readathon comes up that I really want to do that I didn't know about, because I'm going to try to put readathons in here as I go because I'll know what's coming up. So my plan is to try to work that in as much as possible in my pre-planning so that it doesn't mess things up as I'm going along. Like, I don't want to plan everything for January, February, March and pick 20 books a month, which is a lot now that I'm cutting back. And then something happened in March where I'm like, oh, I want to join this thing and I need 20 more books and none of the ones I have fit these prompts or something like that. So I'm going to try to give myself enough space that if I need to change stuff and add stuff in, I'm still able to do that. So each of these along the way, I didn't put anything on the steps yet because I'm trying to decide how I want to do that still. That's still in the planning stage. But I do know that I want every single block to equal some kind of prompt, or it could be a go forward or go back space. So it's going to be like the monstrosity where they all mean something. And I'm probably just going to write those in with my ink pen. And then maybe I'll have a better idea when I get ready to do quarter 2 of how I want things to go and what my ideas are for moving forward. But for right now, that is what I'm going to do for this one. If you guys have any ideas or thoughts about this game, now that you've seen what the board looks like, and there's anything that you think I should add or incorporate into it in some kind of way, I would love to hear about it down below. I'm putting this video out early because and we're going to build on it. So this is the basis of the whole system that I'm planning to do starting in January. But we've got to establish the books that I'm going to be reading. So that's going to be coming up in future videos where I'm going to be choosing the 50 before 50 books that I'm reading for each of the months, then choosing the NPR books that I'm going to be adding each month. I'm doing a Stephen King read along next year. Every month there'll be new books from Stephen King. So that needs to be on my list. And I've already got planned to read in the first quarter, I'm going to read the Nightmareland Chronicles again, reread the first 6 books. They're the only ones that are out right now in that series, so that will be coming up as well. Django also would like to say hi, and he is cold. So, Django's cold in his sweater, but that is going to do it for this episode. I will be right back, and we will start choosing books that I'm going to be reading in 2025. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.